My name's Diane from Planet Granite Santa Clara, and in about 5 minutes we'll be doing a 1-hour power yoga class. Feel free, if you're here, to grab 2 blocks and a strap if you have them available. If you don't, that's okay. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. If you're here already, feel free to come to a comfortable seat. Before we begin our practice, you're welcome to just join me in that comfortable seat, trying to find some stillness before we begin flowing. 2 blocks and a strap will suit you at the front of your mat. We'll warm up today, moving through some sun salutations, kind of modifying them as we go along. But we're also going to play with going inverted. So today we're going to play with headstand and forearm stand. Now you don't have to do that if that's not calling to you. I'll give you options where you don't have to go inverted. But we'll also work on the building blocks along the way. So if that's something that isn't calling to you, you'll have an option. But I encourage you to try the foundation pieces of the poses when we go upside down. You don't necessarily have to go fully inverted to get the same benefits of inversions. And inversions can be quite intimidating, so that's why it's nice to maybe play in some of these foundation poses, the setups, before going all the way up. If you have wall space, go ahead and grab it. I'm a huge fan of using the wall so that you can work on alignment. Make sure you kind of feel the muscles that are needed to keep you up. However, I do think a lot of people use the wall because they're afraid. They're afraid to fall. So it's a great prop to use, but you can also access some of these poses middle of the room. Again, you most likely won't go all the way up if you're kind of new to that, but it's fun to move away from the wall. So if you don't have wall space, that's totally fine. My wall space is a tiny hall closet. So I don't have it in the middle of the room. So we'll see if I even go up today. All right, but we will begin in about 2 minutes. So grab 2 blocks and a strap, put them at the top of your mat if you have those available. If you don't, that's okay. I'm just taking the first few minutes before we start class, sitting in a comfortable position. Just trying to find a little bit of stillness before we get flowing. And we'll have some fun today. Moving through our warm-up, playing with inversions, again, headstand and forearm stand. You're welcome to play with those middle of the room or grab some wall space. Not necessarily having to go fully inverted if you don't want to. I'll give you alternatives or kind of things you can work on to get you there. Now this is a power yoga class. So what we'll be doing is we're trying to maintain heat throughout the practice, so our holds might be a little shorter. We'll definitely be doing a little bit longer sequence on the standing series, just to kind of get us warmed up to get there. But definitely go at a pace that feels comfortable, to where you are trying to maintain that heat, that kind of speed. But you don't necessarily have to go my pace. So just sort of keep that in mind. The difference between a power versus a vinyasa is you are trying to kind of keep that heart rate up and going, not holding poses necessarily as long, and kind of keep moving throughout. We will have moments for pause and rest, of course. And then hopefully having some fun with being inverted. All right, guys, we are going to start standing up today. So go ahead and just come to your rise, making sure you have the props that you need. The 2 blocks and a strap will suit you. If you have wall space available, that's great. If you don't, no worries. We're going to start at the top of our mat, standing in a Tadasana Pose. That means our feet are together or hip distance apart, arms alongside the body. Kneecaps are pulling up. My thighs are engaged, my glutes are squeezed. I'm trying to draw shoulder blades away from the ears. And just hold this Tadasana for a couple breaths before we start flowing. We're going to warm up with a couple sun A's. Good. On your inhale, bring those arms up as you gaze up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, deepen the fold. Plant the hands. You can step or jump back, lowering to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to an upward dog. Exhale to a downward facing dog. And hold this down dog for a few breaths. If you're just coming in, the 2 blocks and a strap will suit you at the top of your mat. No worries if you don't have props. Breathing in and breathing out. Just a couple more breaths here. Good. Bend the knees, look forward, walk or hop to the front of the mat as you fold over the legs. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Inhale, rise up, gazing at fingertips. Exhale, hands alongside the body for Tadasana. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, deepen the fold. Plant the hands. You can step back to plank or jump back, lowering to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and hold. Palms are flat, fingers spread, feet are hip distance or wider. It's okay if we have a bend in the knees and our heels don't quite reach the ground. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, a couple more breaths here. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward as you walk or hop to the front of the mat, folding over your legs. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Inhale, rise up, gazing at fingertips. Exhale, hands alongside the body for Tadasana. Doing some classic sun salutation. Inhale, gaze up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, deepen the fold. Plant the hands as you step back with the right foot lowering onto the right knee. And listen here as you rise the arms up. Now on your exhale, tuck the back toes. Inhale, come up to a high lunge. Exhale, open the arms to a T as you twist towards your left. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, lower down. Step back into a plank. You can lower Chaturanga Dandasana or lower knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale to a baby cobra or up dog. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Good. Once we're all in our downward facing dog, right foot comes forward, lower the left knee to the floor. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, tuck the back toes as you inhale, rise to a high lunge. Exhale, open the arms to a T, twisting to your right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward, step back into a plank. Lowering down knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Coming to an downward facing dog. Good, and then from our downward facing dog, we're going to bend the knees, look forward as we walk or hop to the front of the mat, folding over the legs. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, deepen the fold. Inhale, rise up, gazing at fingertips. Exhale, hands alongside the body. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, bring the arms up, gaze up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Plant the hands, take a big step back with the left foot, lower onto your left knee as you bring the arms up. Exhale, tuck the back toes. Inhale, rise up to this high lunge. As you exhale, open the arms, looking towards your right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold forward, step back into a plank. Again, you can lower Chaturanga Dandasana or knees, chest, chin to the floor. Making your way to a downward facing dog. Good. From our downward facing dog, left foot comes forward as you lower onto the right knee. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, tuck the back toes. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms to a T as you twist to the left. Come back to center, plant the hands down, step back into a plank. Lowering knees, chest, chin to the floor, or Chaturanga Dandasana, while all made in a downward facing dog. And then breathe. From this downward facing dog, bend the knees, look forward, walk or hop to the front of the mat as you fold over the legs. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Exhale, deepen the fold. Inhale, rise up, gazing at fingertips. Exhale, hands alongside the body. Doing a sun B. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms for chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Plant the hands. You can step back to plank or jump back Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always hold plank or push straight to a downward facing dog if you don't want to go through a flow. From downward facing dog, right foot comes up. Bring the right foot between the hands. Plant the back heel as you rise up to a warrior one. Exhale, fold forward. Placing hands down, stepping back to a plank. Lowering knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. All meeting in a downward facing dog. Good. From our downward facing dog, left foot comes forward, plant the back heel. Inhale, rise up for a warrior one. Exhale, fold forward, planting the hands, stepping back into a plank. Holding plank, we're going through a vinyasa. Knowing that child's pose is always welcome to you during this flow. Coming to your downward facing dog and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward as you walk or hop to the front of the sticky mat, folding over your legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Inhale, bend the knees as you lift the arms for Utkatasana. Exhale, come to hands at heart center alongside the body for Tadasana. Good, have those blocks at the top of the mat. Inhale, bring the arms up, gaze up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look halfway up. Exhale, deepen the fold. Plant the hands, you can step or jump back, lowering down. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. Okay, from our downward facing dog, the right foot comes forward, staying on the ball of the left foot for a high lunge. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. On our inhale, straighten the front leg, and then exhale, bend both arms and both knees as you lower, hovering the back knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, straighten and rise up. Exhale, bend and lower. Good. One more. As we exhale, bend, we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the floor or to the blocks for a runner's lunge. So my right knee is still bent, but my left leg is straight on the ball of that back foot. On an exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg for a wide pyramid. Inhale, come back to a runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten to a wide pyramid. Inhale, come back to a runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten to a wide pyramid. Good. One more as you come into a runner's lunge. Straighten that back leg. And coming one more time to that runner's lunge as we then step back into a plank. Again, lowering down if that feels good. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. Good. From that downward facing dog, left foot comes forward, staying on the ball of the right foot for our high lunge. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend both knees and arms as we hover the back knee. Inhale, straighten back up. Exhale, bend as you lower. Inhale, straighten back up. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, come back up. Last one, exhale, bend and stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing the hands on the mat or on those blocks for that high runner's lunge. And then exhale, we straighten for a wide pyramid. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten. 2 more. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Last one. Inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, straighten. And then from here, we're going to bend to that runner's lunge so we can step back. Again, you're holding plank, going through a vinyasa. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. And just breathe here. We're here for about 3 breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now from here, we're going to bring the right foot forward, coming to that high lunge one more time. Arms up, straighten the front leg. This time we're only going to bend the front knee. On an exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. 2 more on your own. Good. Last one as we bend. And then straighten. Bend and hold this high lunge for 5. Hands can be at heart center. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming into a standing split. Hands on blocks or the floor as we lift the left leg up. Now from here, you can play with hands on the floor. If you're feeling super open and want to play with balance, you can bring that right hand behind that right leg or both hands. We're here only for 2 more breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Bending the front knee, placing the back foot down so we can rise up to a warrior 1. Good. So right knee is bent, left leg straight, heel on the ground. As we exhale, open to a warrior 2. Now listen carefully. Our right arm, our front arm, is going to stay where it is. On an inhale, we're going to sweep this left arm down to meet the front and rise back to a warrior 1. Exhale, bring the hands down to your warrior 2. Inhale, sweep the left arm to meet the right hand for a warrior 1. Exhale, open up to your warrior 2. 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward to that warrior 1. Exhale, opening up to a warrior 2. Last one. Inhale, placing palms together for a warrior 1. Exhale, open up to a warrior 2. Straighten the front leg. Rebend the front knee. Right arm to right thigh as you bring the left arm overhead for extended side angle. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Gently rise back up, straightening the front leg. Keeping the front leg straight, bring the right arm forward, left arm up for a triangle pose. Hand can be on a block, shin, or the floor. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. Gently rise back up. Coming into a forward fold, just bring this front foot, right foot parallel for a wide-legged forward fold. Feet are parallel with the front and back of the mat. Hands on the waist. Inhale, arch back. As you exhale, fold forward. Keeping the hands on the waist, on blocks, or wrists under shoulders. Just let the head be heavy. Let the neck relax. Good, we're only here for 2 more breaths. Now from here, listen carefully, we're gonna point our right toes to the left corner of the top of the mat so we can come into a side lunge. My right knee is bent, right toes are facing the corner of that mat. Now you can stay on this right heel. The heel doesn't need to reach the floor. Left toes can be straight or up. Hands can be at heart center or on the ground. We're gonna go from one side to the other. So find the hand placement for the transition as we move to a side lunge on the left, back of the mat. Good. Coming back towards the front. And then back to the back of the mat. Coming back to the front of the mat. And then to the left foot at the back. One more time each side, coming to the right. Coming to the back of the mat, the left. Last one, come to the right. And hold. Breathing in and breathing out. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Placing the hands on the front of the mat as you gently come to the left knee to the floor. We're coming into a half split. Blocks are usually nice. Now the left hip is over that left knee as we just work on straightening this front leg. Hands on blocks, you can stay more upright or you can begin to fold towards that right foot. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Gently rebend the right knee, placing the hands on the ground. Step back into a plank. Going through a flow. Taking a break in child's pose, we'll all meet in a downward facing dog and do the other side. Good. If you're in child's pose, come to your downward facing dog. As the left foot comes forward, staying on the ball of the right foot, coming up to our high lunge. Again, straighten the front knee, the left knee. We're only bending the front knee. Exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. 2 more. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Last one. Exhale, bend, and hold. Hands can stay up or at heart center for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the block or on the floor for that standing split. Left or right leg comes up. Good. And again, you can play with balance here if you'd like. Placing the hands on the floor as you walk the hands closer so the fingers are in line with toes. Maybe you can reach back with one hand, grab behind. Maybe you can reach back with 2. We're here for just a couple more breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. From here, we're going to bend the standing leg as we step back to our warrior 1. The back heel reaches the ground. Palms together for a warrior 1. Then we bring the hands down. Left arm stays straight as we exhale, open to a warrior 2. Good. Inhale, sweep the right arm down to meet the back or the front palm. Rise up for a warrior 1. Exhale, lower and open the arms for warrior 2. Inhale, bring the palms together for that warrior 1. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Inhale, bring the arms together for warrior 1. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. And last one. Inhale, bring the palms together for warrior 1. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend, left arm to left thigh as you bring the right arm over for extended side angle. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, gently rise up as you straighten the left leg. Exhale, coming into a triangle, left hand reaches for the block, your shin, or the floor, right arm is up. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, a couple more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Gently rise back up. We're coming into another forward fold. So bring the feet so that they're parallel with the front and back of the mat. Legs are wide, hands on the waist. As you inhale, arch back. And exhale, fold forward. Again, those hands can land on blocks or the floor, wrist under shoulders. Just let that head be heavy and the neck relax. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, we're gonna come into that side squat on the left side. So walking the hands so that they're underneath the shoulders, point the left toes to that corner of the mat as you lower down. Again, you can be on that left heel. The heel doesn't need to reach the floor. Right toes can be flexed or pointed up. And then hands are at heart center or a little more accessible for as we transition, hands on the ground. Choosing your hand placement and where your heel is at. On our next breath, we're gonna come towards the right for a side squat. Good. Come towards the left and then towards the right. Left and right. One more each side. Left and then right. And then we'll go back to our left and we'll hold. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. One more breath here. And then bringing the hands, tucking the back toes, so we can lower onto that right knee, coming into our half split. The blocks might be nice as we work on straightening this left leg. And again, you can remain upright. If it feels good, you can start to bring the head towards those left toes. Flex the left toes so they're facing towards you. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Trying to have the shoulders over the wrists. You can bend the elbows to help you lower. All right, from here, we're going to bend the left knee so we can place the hands on the ground and step back into our plank. Going through a vinyasa of your choice. We'll all meet in a child's pose. So when you go through your flow to downward facing dog, come back down to your knees. Knees can be together. If your hips are super tight right now, knees can be wide and lower down. If your seat doesn't meet your heel, we're resting here for a few breaths. Feel free to raise the hips, but just have the head fall on something. Maybe the forehead is on two fists stacked or a block. Just feel your foundation for the next couple breaths. We're going to prepare for our first inversion of headstand. If that's not something you'd like to try, you can always do legs up the wall, or take your strap and bring your feet so that the bottom of the feet are facing the ceiling, doing a virtual legs up the wall with the help of your strap. Otherwise, we'll come to our first phase, working on handstand. That's hands and knees. Start here. Then lower down, forearms, clasping the hands, making a little basket with your palms. Now take a look at your shoulders. For a headstand, it's actually a little bit nicer not to splay the elbows so that they're in line with the shoulders, but to bring the elbows a little bit closer than shoulder distance apart. And then you work on placing the crown of the head between the basket that you made with your hands. And then from here, just stay here. You want to actually begin to push forearms into the ground so that 80% of the weight is in forearms, 20% is in the head. We never use momentum to get into a headstand. Tuck your toes if you want to take it up. And then staying here, playing with weight on the head, 20% in the head, 80% in the forearms. Trying to draw shoulders away from the ears. You can play here, just resting in a child's pose, playing with putting weight on the crown of the head. Or you could begin to walk the hips so that they can try and come in line with shoulders. Again, we never jump into a headstand. First work on bringing one foot up, bending one knee, and then bending the other. Again, always taking a break if you need it. And then when you're ready, come into a half egg shape, and then work on one foot at a time, coming into your headstand. We're here for 10 more breaths. And at any point you want to come down, take your break in a child's pose, but again, try not to use momentum coming down either. Playing with your headstand, legs up the wall, or anywhere in between. Good. 5 more breaths. And when you're ready, begin to lower down. Everyone will take a child's pose. Whenever we put weight on the head, we always want to traction the neck out. I prefer arms behind the back, palms facing up. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. All right, one more breath here. And then bring the hands ahead of you, palms flat, so you can tuck the toes and come into a downward facing dog. From this downward facing dog, we're going to roll through a vinyasa and all meet in a downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, the right foot comes forward, lower onto the left knee, and just come up. Hands at heart center. From here, we're going to exhale, twist to the right as we hook the left elbow to the right knee. Staying where you are, tucking back toes for a revolved high lunge. Breathing in and breathing out. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Place the hands on the ground just so that you can pop the back foot about 2/3 of the way up the mat. Hands on the waist as you gently rise up. We're going to come to a pyramid pose. The toes of both feet are facing the front of the mat. This back foot can come out a little wider to help with stability. On the inhale, very gently begin to arch back and try and look back. See if you can see the wall or the baseboard behind you. And then exhale, come forward. Placing hands, they can stay on the waist. Place them on the tallest setting of blocks or lower down. Trying to bring the crown of the head towards the floor. Good. In this pyramid pose, on your next inhale, bring the hands to heart center or your waist as you gently rise up. I'm just going to come into a twist from here. Right hand comes to the waist, left arm comes up. Exhale, fold halfway as you twist to the right. And again, hand can come to a block, the outer right shin, or the floor. Right arm can stay, right hand on that waist, or right arm up. This is a revolved pyramid pose. Breathing in and breathing out. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Coming back to a standing split as we bring the hands towards the floor, bending the right knee, placing the hands on blocks or the floor as we work on straightening that right leg, bringing the left leg up for that standing split. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now listen carefully. From here, we're going to bend the standing leg. Keeping hands on blocks or the floor, left leg is straight and engaged, or bringing hands to heart center for a dragonfly. Now you're staying here or you're straightening the standing leg for warrior 3. Wherever you're at, breathing in and breathing out. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. As you bend this right knee, gently lower the left leg down, placing the hands on the floor, stepping back into a plank, going through a vinyasa of your choice. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. Good. From our downward facing dog, the left foot lifts up as we bring the left foot through, lowering onto the right knee. Bringing the hands to heart center. On an exhale, we twist right elbow towards left knee. Staying on our knee or tucking the back toes to come up into a high revolved lunge. High revolved extended side angle. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Gently untwist and plant the hands, popping the back foot 2/3 of the way up the mat for our pyramid pose. Gently rising up. My left leg is in front. Both toes of each foot are facing the front of the mat. Taking this right leg out a little wider if it helps with stability. Hands on our waist. Inhale as you gently arch back, trying to look back. This will mess with your balance. And then exhale, folding forward. Again, staying more upright. Hands can be on blocks. As you begin to bring the crown of the head towards the floor. For our pyramid pose. We kind of did a wide pyramid in our warm-up. Good, and then gently rising up. Coming into our twist. Left hand on the left waist, right arm up. As you exhale, fold forward and twist to the left. Bringing that right hand onto a block, the floor. Left hand can stay on the waist, or left arm can raise up. And revolve triangle pose for 3 more breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. From here, we're going to untwist so we can bend the left knee, coming into that standing split, raising the right leg up. Hands can be on blocks or the floors. Good, and then coming into our dragonfly, bending the left knee. Right leg stays floating and straight engaged. Hands are on the blocks floor or at heart center. With that left knee bent, you can play here, or you can work on straightening the left leg, coming into a warrior 3. Hand placement can remain the same for your warrior 3. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. 2 more breaths. Balancing on one leg. And then rebend the standing leg as you gently bring the hands to the floor, stepping back into a plank. Going through a vinyasa of your choice. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. We're going to prepare for our next inversion, but we're going to work the core a little bit before we get there. Taking steps along the way, doing what feels good. From this downward facing dog, if you can, we're going to try and lower our forearms to the ground to come into a dolphin. My elbows are in line with my shoulders to the best of my ability. You can clasp your hands if it's hard to keep the palms flat on the floor. Now you're staying in this dolphin, or you're beginning to lower into a forearm plank. Good. Staying in this forearm plank, or placing the left hand directly under the face so you can roll onto the outer edge of the left foot for a forearm side plank. Staying here, lifting that right leg. And then staying here or bringing the right knee to the right elbow for some crunches. Good. 2 more. This is a lot with balance, so stay with it or anywhere along the way. And then coming back into your forearm plank, pushing into your dolphin, and then everyone coming back to a downward facing dog, dropping onto knees and lowering into a child's pose. And we'll do the other side. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, from child's pose, the arms come overhead, tuck the back toes to come into that downward facing dog. And again, you're staying either in downward facing dog or you're lowering forearms to the ground, shoulders in line with elbows, playing with dolphin. Trying to push forearms into the ground and lift the shoulders away from the ears. Staying here, coming into a forearm plank. Staying here, right hand under the face as you roll onto the outer edge of the right foot for your forearm plank. And then again, you can lift the top leg up, bring the left arm overhead as we do some crunches. This is quite difficult, plays with balance. Wherever you're at along the way, you're working that core. Last one. And then coming back into your forearm plank. Everyone in forearm plank, come into that dolphin. Everyone in dolphin, push into the downward facing dog. And then we all come onto hands and knees into your child's pose. And now we'll play with forearm balance. If you don't want to do that, keep practicing your dolphin. Taking child's pose for a break. Now, if you're like me and don't have a wall nearby, you might not come up all the way, but at the very least, just clear anything that's in front of you in case you do come kind of tumble out of it. You want to make sure you don't fall on anything. It might be helpful to have your block with you if you're new to forearm stand, or if you just want to you don't feel so solid in it. All right, so coming onto hands and knees, begin to lower forearms to the ground. Now look at placement. We do in this one want our shoulders in line with elbows. This is where the block is nice. Placing it between the hands, between the thumb and the index. This is going to encourage me to push my wrist, palms, and forearms down. Oftentimes people's palms pop up so that their wrist is now off the floor. We want to try and keep everything flat and engaged. Same thing with headstand. We're pushing so much into our forearms. So maybe this is your pose. If you don't have blocks, you can clasp the hands together. Just be mindful about the elbows splaying out. All right, from here, you're staying here, or you're tucking the toes and playing with this dolphin. If you're in dolphin and you don't want to kick up, but you want to work a little bit, lift one leg up and one leg down and do repetitions of this. It's going to help core a little bit. It's also going to help with those hip flexors. Otherwise, same thing. You're bringing the feet closer to the torso, trying to stack hips over shoulders. Lifting one leg up, gazing between your thumbs as you work on hopping up. Coming to your forearm stand. And again, we'll hold for 10 breaths. So if you're playing with hopping up and down, switch feet. At any point, take your rest in child's pose. We're here for a few more breaths. Meeting yourself where you're at. Whether you're in hands and knees, that dolphin pose, just trying to put weight. We're kicking up. We have 5 more breaths wherever you're at. Inversions are a great way to play with turning your world upside down. They require a lot of work. They remind me a lot of climbing though. If you're up, come on down. And everyone take a child's pose. And again, it might feel good to actually have the hands behind the back, palms up in this child's pose. I prefer to boulder when I rock climb. And inversions remind me a lot of kind of being on the boulder, on the rock. In that, a lot of it is actually a head game. You know, you don't have a rope when you're bouldering, especially if you're outdoors. That can be really scary and intimidating. But whenever fear is a huge factor, sometimes it's not physical that's preventing us, but we're just afraid. So use that wall, play with foundation poses, but understand why you can't or are struggling to come up. Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it both? Good. From here, we're going to bring the arms overhead so we can tuck the back toes and come into that downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank, going through a flow. And we'll all meet in that down dog. Lowering onto hands and knees. Swing the feet to one side so you can sit to the other. Extend the legs out in front of you. We're going to twist a little bit from here. Hug the right knee to the chest and bring the right foot over the left. Flex those left toes. Right hand comes behind you on the floor or a block. Exhale, lifting the left arm up as you hug or twist that right knee. Keep those left toes flexed. Breathing in. And on every exhale, trying to deepen the twist. Try not to hunch. Try and keep the belly tucked to the spine. The block under the hand will help keep that spine straight if your hand's struggling to meet the floor. Good. One more breath here. And then return to center. Exhale, twist the other way for a brief counter twist. And then return back to center. We're going to come into a double pigeon from here. So our left foot is going to come underneath that right knee. So my right ankle is on top of that left knee, right knee above the left ankle. And if you look down, you're trying to make a triangle shape where your shins end up being parallel. Flex both toes. This will help protect the knee. If you're like me, I have a huge gap. Maybe put a prop under there. Staying upright with both toes flexed. We're beginning to hinge forward. Now, if you're like me, you might not go super far. Trying to keep that spine straight. You can, though, walk your way all the way forward so that you're in a more forward fold. My hips aren't feeling that, though. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, from here, inhale, gently rise up. Now from here, listen carefully, we're going to straighten the bottom leg, coming into a forward fold, but take this right ankle on top of the left. So you're coming into a Paschimottanasana or forward fold with the right ankle on top of the left ankle. Toes are flexed, sitting upright, or using your strap as you begin to walk the hands alongside the legs, reaching for the outside edges of the feet, using your strap, or just keeping the hands on the floor alongside the legs. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. And then gently rise back up, uncross the legs. Coming to the twist on the other side, hug the left knee to the chest. Bring the left foot over the right knee, flex the right toes, left hand comes behind us, right arm comes up as we hug or hook that left knee, twisting towards the left. And again, using that block to help straighten the spine by placing the hand underneath it. Couple more breaths. Inhale as we return back to center. Exhale, do a brief counter twist. Return back to center. We're coming into double pigeon on the other side. So I'm going to bring the right foot underneath that left knee. And again, this can be quite a lot, so just go in paces or in steps. If this is even too much, you can always just come into an easy cross-legged. Both toes are flexed. My left ankle is over right knee. Left knee over right ankle. See if you made the base of a triangle when you look down. Using a prop if it feels good. Staying upright, or if you're feeling open and can keep that spine somewhat straight, begin to hinge forward. A little more open on this side. Keeping those toes flexed to protect the knees. Good. And then inhale, we're gently rising up. Coming back to that forward fold, our right leg comes out and straight. Left ankle crosses over right ankle. So left ankle on top, flex the feet. And then again, hands alongside the body, spine nice and straight, flexing our toes as we begin to walk the hands along the legs. Again, keeping the hands alongside the legs, reaching for feet or using the strap as you fold forward. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, guys, from here we're going to gently rise back up. Uncross the legs. Where your knees are, place your feet and have them hip distance apart. We're going to play with Tabletop Pose. Gently lean back so the hands are behind you, fingers facing the front of the mat. If you have any tight shoulders or any wrist injuries, it might feel better to have the fingers facing the sides of the mat. On your inhale, you're lifting, squeezing the glutes and the thighs, keeping the chin tucked. If it feels good on the neck, you can slowly release the head. Just don't whiplash your neck back. We're holding here. I'm going to count down, not breaths. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Tighten up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently lower down. Good. We're going to work the core a little bit more before we come to wrap up our practice. We're going to play with both, so both feet on the floor. Hands can remain behind the thighs as you work on lifting the feet parallel to the floor. Palms can come up, arms out. Now you're staying here, lifting the legs straight. Good. On your next inhale, come to a low boat. Shoulders, head, feet off the floor. Exhale to boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale to boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale to boat. Woo. Inhale, low boat. Exhale to boat and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the feet on the floor, soles of the feet together for a butterfly pose. And just stay upright or hinge forward. Good. Gently rise back up. Place the soles of the feet on the floor. Feet are hip distance apart. You're taking your time as you begin to lower so that the spine is flat. Preparing for our bridge and our wheel. All right, so soles of the feet are on the ground, hip distance apart, parallel. Palms are flat on the ground, arms alongside the body. On the inhale, you're going to lift the hips, lower and middle back as you push into the ground with your palms, grabbing the outside edges of the mat or clasping your hands underneath. Squeeze the glutes. Try and act like you're holding a ball or a block between the thighs. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. Inhale, release the hands as you gently lower down. We're going to do one more back bend, so keep the soles of the feet on the floor and just knock the knees together if you need to release tension in the lower back. All right, coming back to either bridge or wheel, but we're all going to start from the same place. Feet are hip distance apart, parallel. Arms alongside the body, palms down. As you inhale, push into your palms and lift your hips, lower, middle back off the floor. Bridge people, grab outside edges of the mat or clasp your hands. Wheel people, bring fingertips to the shoulders. And on your inhale, push into your wheel. And if you're coming into wheel, try not to splay the elbows out. Try and draw the elbows closer together. Let the head relax so that the neck doesn't have tension. Good. If you're in wheel, you're tucking your chin as you lower down. Otherwise, everybody lower down. And from here, we're going to hug the knees to the chest and rock side to side. All right, guys. From here, we're going to come into shoulder stand. Shoulder stand is not in your practice. Take the soles of the feet together and do a reclined butterfly pose. If you're new to shoulder stand, please watch before you do it. I'll go through it twice. You don't ever want to turn your head in a shoulder stand. So you're in a reclined butterfly, or our legs straight, palms flat, arms alongside the body. As you lift the feet overhead so that you can place the palms on the lower back as you inch your elbows closer together, working on straightening your legs. One last inversion. We've done 3 this practice. Breathing in and breathing out. So again, arms are straight, palms flat, legs together as you lift the feet overhead so that you can work on placing your palms on your lower back, trying to wiggle the elbows closer towards each other, and then working on straightening the legs. Breathing in and breathing out. Cross the ankles and squeeze the feet together. That'll help you stay up if you're getting a little tired. About 5 more breaths, so stay with it. Good. When you're ready, gently bring those feet back overhead for plow pose. If the toes touch the ground, you can remove your hands from the lower back and clasp them together. If they don't, then just leave the hands on the lower back. Good, and then gently releasing the hands as one vertebrae at a time, you make your way to laying flat. Now, if you're in that reclined butterfly or legs up the wall, you can join us for fish pose. If you did shoulder stand, you're doing fish pose. Arms alongside the body, legs straight. It's the counter pose. Sorry, that sounded rude. But legs straight, arms alongside the body, palms flat. Keep your arms where they are as you push into your elbows and palms and forearm, trying to bring the crown of the head towards the floor. It's okay if the crown doesn't reach. If it does reach, keep the crown of the head on the floor for this fish pose. Legs are engaged, toes are pointed or flexed. Staying here or taking it up a notch, bringing the hands to heart center. Staying here or lifting legs 45 degrees and then bringing prayer fingers towards the toes for a variation of fish if your head reaches the ground. Good, and then when you're ready, gently lower down. We're ready for our Savasana, so no matter where you're at, come to lying flat on the back, legs wide. And we never ditch or rush Savasana. We have plenty of time. Legs wide, arms out, palms up. Try not to touch anything if you have that space available. So take props out of the way. And just close your eyes. Breathing in and breathing out. We did a lot today. We worked 3 inversions in, playing with turning our world upside down. Removing foundation. And using steps along the way, not necessarily having to go fully inverted. But using the inversions to play with our sense of fear, especially if you were like me and didn't have a wall as a prop. How much our head can kind of get in the way. And we never want to chase a pose. We never want to kick up just to kick up. We never want to do the headstand just to do the headstand. Right? It's all about balance. Maybe you just play with Dolphin. Maybe you play with hands and knees on the floor, just putting weight on the head. But play with your fear on your mat. So when you're off the mat, and the world's upside down, you feel a little more stable. You feel like you can breathe. And in today's society, with police brutality, with injustices happening, our world is already upside down. Our foundation is being rocked. We're all being pushed to move in a good, positive direction, but for some people it might be hard, it might be challenging. So get your foundation down first. Good. Staying in this Savasana for a few more breaths. Allowing the body to return to neutral. And there's no need to rush out of this. We'll all take our time. Just make your next inhale a little bit deeper. Wiggle toes and wiggle fingers. Bring the arms overhead like you're waking up in the morning. Just do a final stretch. And then taking your time, placing the soles of the feet on the floor so you can hug the knees to the chest. Taking your time as you roll to the right and just stay in that fetal position for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, you'll push into hands into the floor and come up to a seated position. And all that movement, all the fun we did, has prepared us for stillness. We'll use one more minute before our time comes for a brief meditation. So in that seated, comfortable position, have a soft gaze or close the eyes. Hands can be in the lap, on the knees, or at heart center. And just be. Don't worry about your breath. Your breath is moving. Relax your face. Let the jaw release. Let that third eye relax. Stay here for 30 more seconds. And as you'll find, for most people, stillness can be just as difficult as being on your head. But it's in stillness that we learn. It's in the stillness that we grow. It's in stillness that our heart is open and our mind is open. Place the palms at heart center if they're on the knees, and bow your head towards your fingers. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Playing with inversion. Super stoked we got at least a minute of meditation. We'll bow forward saying namaste. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that 1 hour power yoga. Kind of mixing it up with a longer sequence on each side. It's a great way to still get the body moving, keeping that heat. We have so many amazing teachers throughout the country teaching on Facebook Live through all the Planet Granite and Earth trucks, so definitely check out the schedule. Keep it going. Keep yourself updated. I know there's talks of reopening throughout the state, not necessarily the gyms, but just be mindful as things open up, no matter what you're doing, to be steady, to be strong, and to breathe. Be mindful. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you later.